Howdy and aloha, everybody. It's James with Monotalk. This thing is going to be had some problems, so I'm trying to fix it so it's not picking up everything on the free plane. So, if you can see what I have up, this happened at the G20. They have all this shit put together. Well, the G20 was infiltrated. I think probably not the first time, but more so than usual by none other than Klaus Schwab of the Fourth Reich. I'm not kidding. Um, it's funny, but it's not funny. We acknowledge the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods under the framework of the IHR 2005 to facilitate seamless international travel, interoperability, and recognizing digital solutions and non-digital solutions, including proof of vaccination. We support continued international dialogue and collaboration on the establishment of trusted global digital health. Remember that, trusted global digital health networks as part of the efforts to strengthen prevention and response to future pandemics that should capitalize and build on the success of existing standards and digital COVID 19 certificates. These are vaccine passports. This is at the Bali Summit G20, and these fucking assholes are going to push this shit. They're going to push it. Biden's going to fucking bend over and take it. You know, Trump would do the fucking saying. I don't. It doesn't seem like DeSantis would, because he already fucking took a dump on the World Economic Forum a couple days ago, which is good. Now, what else were they saying, right? What else? So this passport shit has been around for a long time, and it's something that is just a control mechanism to further put shackles on you. Shackles on you. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. That's what it's about. Nothing else. Just just a more a better way of imprisoning you and enslaving you, subjugating you, abusing, beating and battering you. Right? This is all this is about. Total and absolute control over the masses. That's not what that fucker's about, man. That's all he's about. Nothing else. Nothing else. He's just a fucking sick son of a bitch. Klaus Schwab and all his cronies and all the minions and all the people that fucking lick his nuts. Just bullshit. Just bullshit. Alright, what else we got that they were talking about? What's the next one? There's this one, that one's up, and then let's go to the next one. Alright, so the next one is mRNA vaccines. We recognize the need for strengthening local and regional health product manufacturing capacities of and cooperation as well. I feel like I need to get into the. I should just do it. We recognize the need for strengthening local and regional health product manufacturing capacities and cooperation, as well as sustainable global and regional research and development networks. There it is, that global fucking word, sustainable global and regional research and development networks, to facilitate better access to vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics globally. We support the WHO, the mRNA vaccine technology transfer hub, as well as all as the spokes in all the regions of the world, with the objective of sharing technology and technical know-how on voluntary and mutually agreed terms. This is what they're doing. You know, they want to make sure that they have that. And somebody knocked on the door. Somebody, oh, hey, Rita. Reed Kodama from, is it Honolulu, Hawaii? What city? Pearl City? Reed.
Hey,
Hey,
how
brother.
you, James?
Hey, brother. Thank you for being here, bro. All right, so I'm talking about the G20. I just went over the passport that they want to fucking try to shove down everybody's throat and up their ass and in every fucking orifice they can. And they'll make a hole if they need to, these fucking bastards. Right? And then now I'm on to the mRNA vaccines, which obviously are just horrific and terrible and doing some really shitty crap to the planet and people and stuff like that. Because they stop the transmission and they're good to have and they help you and they keep you from having worser effects or side effects of COVID. This is what Jimmy Dore says every time he's fucking on. He's got to say that, even though he's throwing shit up on the wall or at them in regards to this, you know, in regards to this. I'll just share it with you so you can see it, see what I'm talking about. Let's give them something to talk about. Alright, let me share it here. Share screen.
Yeah, no, they've they've politicized this thing so well. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the mixed messages and stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
it's diabolical. It's
Oh,
impressive.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
it's if you were to create a process to you know bring people in what's called mass formation psychosis, which is actually a real term of psychology, and bring them into a place where they're constantly confused, they're constantly in fear, they're going after each other left and right on every single issue, just so you do not see who the real enemy is. This is brilliant plan. So I just went over I know, isn't it? It's just, I mean, you got to give. But here's the thing, which a lot of people don't realize is it's not like you and I just making up something and going, hey man, let's fucking throw this out there. These people have access to, let's just say, trillions of dollars, money that
Right,
they don't even have or need, or money they don't even have.
right.
This
It's all
this nation right now is in debt, 30 fucking dollars, and we're just magically making up money to send to other countries to build NATO and to buy fucking Lamborghinis for Nazis and Zelensky and his Nazi buddies and Ukraine. It's just fucking. It's amazing that people can't see what this money buys. It buys advertising. I mean, you're on every mainstream media. Like if I just go here, I'll go back to this real quick, but I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if anybody can. I wish you could share, because if you could share, then I could play it. Because I don't know if they can play it. I can play it and they can see it, but I'm going to find out. Give me just a moment. But this is something I this is a really good. Brought to you by Pfizer. You've
Oh, right,
seen
right. I
that.
saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that. I saw that.
everybody's seen that 1,000 times. You know,
Sponsored by Pfizer.
sponsored by Pfizer. Sponsored by Pfizer. Today, MSNBC and da 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 is sponsored by Pfizer. And then, I was watching a Northrop Grumman commercial during the South Carolina Gamecocks playing the Tennessee, right? And that was a great game. Did you watch that game?
No.
No,
I
yeah, that was
haven't.
a great game. Tennessee was ranked seventh in the country, and they lost to like a number 22 seed, or not even ranked, not even ranked. So they stormed the field. So the Gamecocks won that game. And I was watching UCLA and USC, and they're just battling it out. I think right now, watching football and fucking. That's just what I do. I played UH linebacker, red-shirted. What are you gonna say?
Oh,
But
you played UH?
yeah, I just redshirted. I redshirted for a year. I
Oh,
went in.
nice.
Yeah, well, what happened was
What year was this?
this is 81. No, 82.
Oh,
82, 83.
wow.
82, 83. So I didn't even think I'd make the team because it was a tryout. You know, I was referred to. I didn't even, I sucked. Look, I didn't really understand football until like halfway through my junior year, and I only played football my junior and my senior year. I never
Hmm.
played, you know, helmet, high school Pop Warner nothing my entire life. In Texas, I did play for like a few months or a few games, but I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And I didn't really remember that. I think I was maybe like 10 or 11 when that happened. But anyway, so I played, and I did pretty good. But nobody ever ran my side. Nobody, I wasn't even honorable mention, right? I was just, 6'1.5", 6'2" at the time. I think I'm like 6'1" now. I've shrank like a half inch. I know it. I think I was like 6'1", 6'2" at one time. 6'2". I think I was listed as 6'1" or 6'2". But anyway, so what happened was somebody referred me. One of the coaches said, "You got to take a look at this kid." So what happened was I tried out, and it's a week. So you have a week to like practice, but you have to be, there's some kind of, you know what I'm saying, because you're redshirted, right?
Mhm.
And if the first, they can cut you loose the first 5 minutes. If they don't think you fucking got it, you're gone. You know what I mean? They can cut you loose at any time. So I was waiting. I wasn't waiting. What I was doing is I was just tearing it up pretty bad. I was 6'1.5", 220, 225. You know, I thought I was gonna, and they put me a linebacker, strong side linebacker, which is weird because I know defense. I played defensive tackle for Kaiser. Did pretty good. But anyway, so I played, did pretty good. I was gonna do really good. Then at the end, I fucking partied like a rock star and fucked up. And then I left. It was just, I had the golden opportunity to stay with that team. I should have stayed on. Anyway, there's more to the story, but moving forward with this, and I loved it. I'm telling you, I had such a great time. I had the best time. I was hitting Jesse Supolo every day.
Oh, well, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, every day.
That's Dick told me. Dick told me was the coach
Yeah,
back
Dick
then.
told me. Yeah, Jesse Supolo and me had like a little thing going. He fucking hated me because I used to beat the fuck out of him, and I used to beat the shit out of all the running backs. And the running back coach hated me because I did the same thing in my junior year because he was a quarterback coach at Kaiser, right? And he fucking hated my guts because I injured a lot of his running backs. But anyway, it was funny. So back to this. The mRNA vaccines were recognized, and I just went over this and saw this. But they also said they wanted to have that passport stuff, right? And then they're doing the mRNA vaccines. They want to make sure people are still doing that, right? That's because that's important. And then they also brought up the carbon tax. Right, and I'll read the carbon tax. This is the G20 Bali Summit carbon tax. We are committed to promote investment in sustainable infrastructure and industry, as well as innovative technologies and a wide range of fiscal, market, and regulatory mechanisms to support clean energy transitions, including, as appropriate, the use of carbon pricing and non-pricing mechanisms and incentives, while providing targeted support for the poorest and the most vulnerable. Which, the thing you have to take out of this, which you've probably already got it, is right here. Regulatory mechanisms. Anytime you see regulatory mechanisms on your food, on your livestock, meat, poultry, fish, crustaceans, stuff like that, uh, and fruits and vegetables and stuff. Anytime you see regulatory on your food, that's when the world needs to be alarmed. Let's just say that. That's for damn sure. Right. So the big alarming thing is that, and they want to get their hands into this, and they will, and this has nothing to do with your health and safety. It has nothing to do with carbon. right? Emissions. It just
Right,
has
right.
fucking, all this is
All
about is
fake
giving
stuff.
them the ability to starve the fucking planet. I don't know how else to say this, but their goal is to basically starve you, starve the 99%, kill off as many people, and people just don't want to get this. They do not want to. They don't want to think that's even possible. They
Hmm.
don't want to think that anybody would come to such a Doctor Evil type of, double oh 007 villain type, you know, thingamajig. Oh, there's that. God damn it! The fucking 69 666 is back on my chat on my YouTube again. I don't know if it's this one. Which one is it? Ah, fuck! I hate that. Anyway, I don't fucking care. I need a moderator to block it. Are you on my YouTube or you don't get on my YouTube?
I think I've been on it before.
Well, let me go through this. I don't really care if that's on there. It's not gonna fucking hurt anything. And there's the commodity data, which is coming up. Commodity
You,
data.
you streaming live right now on YouTube?
Yeah,
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah. So commodity data is, and just, it's digital, the digital banking process, right? The COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the transformation of the digital economic system and digital economy. We recognize the importance of digital transformation in research, the SDGs, which I really don't know what that is. We remain committed to further enable data-free flow with trust and promote cross-border data flows. So the thing you need to get out of this is the transformation of the digital ecosystem and the digital economy. That's the thing you need to worry about. Because what they want to do is world central banking so they can control your money. If you burn too much carbon, they're going to tax you, or they're gonna what they call in the military is they're going to dock your pay, right? And they're going to find ways to. This has nothing to do with fixing anything. It's all about suppression, subjugation, and slavery, completely.
Right. So
That's
it's
it.
all a load of crap.
It's all a load of crap. There's nothing that's going to be good for the 99% for this. They can make as much money as they want already. They already have access to the Federal Reserve to print and make money and to throw ones, to put zeros, a digit, a number, a one, and as many zeros as they want in any of their bank accounts for whatever reason. Since 9/11, we've given away the military industrial complex has gotten and received, right? And we're talking about Northrop Grumman, Enron, Lockheed Martin. Back in 2001, there was a McDonnell Douglas, but I think they merged or something like that. And there's all these other companies out there that are just making bank off of an average per year to this day is close to $700 billion a year to the military industrial complex. You know who's starting to take a lead in that amount of money? What industry? You want to guess what industry besides the military industrial complex that's getting a lot of money more recently in the past few years?
NASA receives uh,
They're part of that, but
a boatload
big
of money.
pharma, big pharma,
Yeah, big pharma
big
too.
pharma definitely is getting, because big pharma's been sitting back and getting really nothing for a long time. They get little bits and pieces, but they came up with this entire process. But at the same time, the eugenics people came in, right? And if you know what the eugenics people are, they're the people that only want a certain superior type of race. They're like lockstep in tune with the Third Reich and the Nazis,
Right. Planned Parenthood.
and it's Planned Parenthood, and the big, and if you if you go to Google, excuse me, YouTube, and type in Margaret Sanger is her name, right? Is that the
Right,
lady?
right, right, right. That's the lady that started this
If
thing.
you type her in Planned Parenthood Margaret Sanger and then put like minorities or blacks, there's a lot of YouTubes now that you can see tons of research that these offices, clinics, or these, death offices, right, were placed not by accident, not even by accident, in minority, low income, and especially black communities. So right now, the there are 12.5, 13% of the U.S. population is African American, black, right? Now, Planned Parenthood has been a huge force since the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. So if they weren't around with their offices in these minority areas, and definitely in these black communities, the percentage of blacks in the country would be much higher, like tripled or quadrupled of what it is now. And a lot of blacks understand that. And some of them don't even want to talk about that. That's just
Mhm.
too much. It's just like, are you fucking
It's a
kidding me?
taboo. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot of that's everywhere right now. It's that fucking. It's not like remember we were talking about Stockholm syndrome. There's
Yes,
Stockholm.
cognitive dissonance.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a cognitive dissonance. It's a willing. You're willing to not know a reality, an actual proven, excuse me, an equivocal proven truth or fact, that is beyond being wrong. And when somebody's approached with that information, that are you kidding? So we could have had 30 to 40% of the country as Hispanic or black or Polynesian. I mean, they they tore up, and Asian, by the way, Asian,
Mhm.
and they went into a lot of just poor neighborhoods. You know what I mean. And what I'm saying basically is this is not an accident. This is by a orchestrated process, and it's been that way for a long time. When at the same time, the Rothschilds and a few other monarchies created in 1910 the ability, or for the government, and there was just this big lobbying body of money came in and said in 1910 we want there to be a science process to medicine instead of a natural holistic process. So the natural holistic process is now expelled, and here comes big pharma, right? And it started, and it's been ongoing for a long time. You were gonna say,
It's like the Rockefellers. Yeah, it's
yeah,
like a petrochemical. It's all fake medicine. They want to stay away from that as much as.
yeah. There's a yeah. So let's just say, and I bring up this point. A lot of what there has been within the past few decades is a very great majority of holistic, natural, people that have gone back in history, and they've worked with archaeologists and geologists and botanists, right? And checked and obtained certain all natural processes. They've also used frequencies. They've also used light, different colors of the spectrum that some parts of the body just don't like, or some diseases don't like at all. There's a guy right now, and it's been said a few times, and he keeps talking about, and nobody's listening to him, but people have researched it. There's a certain frequency for everything. For everything has a frequency, which makes sense. I think Tesla brought that, but all these other processes that are out there that could be helping us, instead of constantly giving these bazillions of dollars a year to something like that, just has a side effect at the end of the commercial. You could have bloating, or you could have, your left eye could fall out, or you could not wake up in the morning. Please call your doctor if this happens. This is constant, and people still take this shit.
It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
I think the funniest side effect I heard was for antidepressant medication. It said may cause thoughts of suicide.
Well, I've heard that's a bunch of times. I've seen that on a lot of mental medications.
Yeah, and I'm like, is that really the time you want to have thoughts of suicide, when you're depressed?
Right?
Right. Even that erectile dysfunction, one of the side effects is may cause major back pain. I'm like, I mean, what's the point then? You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? It's
crazy.
Honey, I'm going to take the blue pill, right, for a few weeks, and all of a sudden you've taken it for a few weeks or whatever, and you've been fucking pounding it out, and now you can't move fucking move your back. You can't breathe anymore, bro. No more breathing for you, eh? So fucking funny. Yeah, there's some really stupid shit happening out there, man. It's just. Oh wait, there's one more piece.
Oh, I seen that guy. I seen that guy before. The bald guy.
Oh yeah, he's got some really good stuff. There was another segment of. I keep passing. Yeah.
He has a nice background. I remember.
Oh yeah, I can get that. I like my fucking my cave. My cave in the back. Yeah, there's some cool backgrounds there. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Oh shit, I was right there. Oh come on, I got
to tackle, because it's hard to know where to tackle it.
Indeed. So Vanessa, the last slide there, the last comment from the Bali Summit.
And this is also this is what topped off the Bali Summit, right? And according to the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, me, and there's different levels of me, and Vanessa Beeley, and James Corbett, and Ryan Christian, and a lot of other people, and you, and us, and Convo Couch, and Frank Analysis, and Marcus with Political Matrix, and there's a few others out there that were listed, right? The people that keep getting shut down on Facebook, keep getting shut down on Twitter, shadow banned on Twitter. I'm on my fucking 5th or 6th fucking YouTube account, is because we're called, what the DHS calls us, are called influence operators. Influence operators, IOs. We're IOs. So an IO is targeted, and they fucking take you down. They limit it. So disinformation, that's part of the G20. So the World Economic Forum basically infiltrates the G20, which is mainly just for government officials and executives and prime ministers and presidents and shit like that, right? And now I'm not saying they've never been there, but this time Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates was there together.
Oh, it's not good.
That's not good. And they're there, here's your money, here's how we're going to pay for your campaigns, here's going to be your Cabo San Lucas and your fucking, your Swiss bank account. We're going to make sure that's filled up. We're going to, what yacht did you want? Did you want the 120 footer or the 89 footer? Or did you want the catamaran, or did you want the single hull? Let us know. We're going to hook you up. Just make sure you keep this fucking genocidal bullshit continuing, right? And that's what it's about. So the disinformation part is this is it. It's just like a sentence. We acknowledge the importance to counter disinformation campaigns, cyber threats, online abuse, and ensuring security in connectivity infrastructures. Now, are you ready for the takeaway on this one? Because it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Ready? It's we. We. When you know who we are, we acknowledge, right? And that's what this all comes down to. We are I am a narcissistic, tyrannical, pedophiliac, draconian, authoritarianist, fucking nut case, right? That's the we. They're all a bunch of fucking sick bastards. All of them. Just,
Of course.
and just running everything and everybody. And the problem with everything and everybody, which I tell everybody, is I'm expendable to them, and so are you. So are you. You're just as expendable as I am to them. Because they have who they're keeping in their arcs, right? Or in their bunkers. I mean, if you have $5 billion, you could build basically a Hyatt Regency hotel, right, under the ground, like 20
Yeah,
stories.
They have stuff like that.
And they have stuff like that. And you can fill it with food and vegetation, and you can live in it, for 5 or 10 years and still until something happens, something goes wrong, and everybody starts eating each other, which is probably going to fuck it up. And I think, was it, oh God, it was Love, Sex, and Robots. It's a show on Netflix. It's about these 3 robots, 3 or 4 robots, and they're walking through a dystopian after everything's gone and dead and viruses and climate change and all this stuff. And they get to this one segment, and it's all CGI. There's a triangle robot and this one cool looking robot and this little dorky little guy robot. And the only thing that's left that are cats. The cats are like smart now or something. It's really kind of weird, but you got to look at it. It's like death, sex, death, and robots, or something like that. But it shows all these different little quick movies of just all kinds of fantasy, fictional, pretty dark. Some of them, some kind of cool and fun, stuff like that. But the thing is there's a part where they're going through this after the apocalypse type era, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 years from now, whenever it happened. And they go to this one part where they're on this yacht, right? And it's these robots that are on this yacht, and everything else are just a bunch of skulls and dead people, right? And you show steak knives in a few of them, and they go, well, what happened is the elite rich built these bunkers and these boats to get away from people, and then they started eating each other and killed each other. So the problem with their mentality is they believe they can manage what's called these utopian type cities. I don't know if you've ever heard of Zeitgeist.
Well, yeah. I've seen several of the documentaries.
Now Zeitgeist, I really fell into that, right? But the problem is with Zeitgeist is I think they're connected to these people, to the WEF. I'm almost certain they are. I need to check on that a little further. I was starting to, but anyway. And they want to have these cities in the future where they control everything, and everything is controlled by them, and they get what they want. But what they don't understand, and the problem when you're so far up your own ass, like these people, is the process of the human evolutionary process is for us to breed, to eat, to breed, to venture, to voyage, to learn, to have mistakes, to do it, to have family and friends, and to have conflict. This is just the way it's been for a long time, even at the village level. I mean, one of the greatest examples of a tribal community that has survived for a long time is the Polynesians, until the Europeans came and fucked everything up. Started these hierarchical fucking, kings and queens and monarchies type shit. Right? They had a process where they had elites for each segment of the land. And each segment of the land, you were an elite, and you would help to keep conflict from happening, and to make sure things were fair. And there was a very simple process. What I recommend anybody listening is to look up Max Freedom Long. Max Freedom Long. He's done some really great work in studying the Hawaiian culture. And there's other cultures out there. And in the middle of Brazil, in the fucking deepest jungles of the Amazon jungles, and the fucking and out there in Africa, and there's been people that have lived for a few thousand years without any type of contact that's not allowed, actually, of any Western society, and they're still fine. However they do what they do, they're fine. They're living with the land. They're kind of like the Avatar kind of thing. They respect the land. They respect each other. They do their thing. They do, they eat, they enjoy, they play. They have little altercations here. They have certain little sports, stuff like that. Well, this is the problem that these elitist, parasitic elite are going to run into, is they're going to try to control people so much that people are going to start to break out. People are going to notice that they're being manhandled. If they don't see it now, then they're definitely going to see it in about 5 or 10 years. So what's good is DeSantis. Did you hear what he said? The governor of Florida? Anyway, I'll tell you. So he said he doesn't want to have anything to do with the World Economic Forum, which I thought was a good idea. Anyway, and this is the shit that's at the fucking G20. And these guys are just influenced. It's just insane. And I need to tell the people that are out there that are getting paid to take down my channels and take down my information. I'm not fucking cutting people's heads off with chainsaws like you would see on YouTube that you let on there all the time, right? During fucking 9/11 and all these other wars to create more war. I mean, this is nuts. And the other shit that I've seen on fucking YouTube is disgusting and sick. There's a lot of fucking really shitty shit on YouTube, by the way. And all I do, right, is I have theories. I have perspectives, right? I have just, debates, and I have conversations, and I've had a lot of people on my shows. I've had doctors, I've had lawyers, I've had engineers, I've had, teachers and nurses, and homeless people, and working poor and middle class. I've had all kinds of people and candidates for elections, and when I was in California, I did a lot of that on my shows. But, you have to have, and I think, how did I put it? Let me just grab this real quick. I'm going to go back to it. And I put it very well the other day, just tonight, sorry. It was something I posted. Let me jump to it. I'm going to jump to it. Here on, I go to here, go to Twitter. Oh, this is a good one. Have you seen this? Can you see this picture? You gotta see this picture, dude. You gotta see this picture.
Disinformation?
Okay, now look. Now check this out. Now watch this. This is a picture can tell 1,000 words, or just a few, or just a obvious few. That's what I put in. But look at this guy. You see? Look at his face in the background.
I'm still seeing the disinformation.
Oh yeah, no. Oh wait. Hang on. Let me switch it.
G20 Bali Summit thing.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a second here. Now you should be seeing. Oh wait, hold on. Oh crap! I just got rid of it. All right, let's try that. I have to reshare again. Let me just reshare again. I'll show you. This is a fucking classic photo, dude. You gotta see this. There it is. Right there. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and
army guy.
And I say, a picture can tell 1,000 words, or just an obvious few, right? And this guy is just looking like this dude. What a piece of shit. He's just like, oh my god, this is our fucking. This is the guy that's gonna lead me into fucking battle. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But anyway, there was another thing that I was looking at. Oh shit, I clicked it. Yeah, he's just nah. That's classic. And there, you don't have a choice. People act like they have a choice. This is the guy that was at the fucking the G20, right? This is the guy. You don't have a choice, and he's telling your legislator, your judiciary, and your executive that you don't have a choice. And that's what they're telling you now, is that you don't have a choice. That's what they're going to try to do. Right? This is fucking insane. And then here, this is most of this is just nuts. You need to have a.
What about that Harari guy?
Yuval Harari he's just a sick bastard.
Yeah, he's like a little dweeb.
Yeah. So on my show, and I was saying this earlier, yeah, he's just a sicko. He's just a fucking sick, crazy little bitch. And so on somebody was like, who was it that started this conversation? Okay, so France, Macron, we need a single world order. That's the leader of France, right? And then in Bernie's tweet, this girl puts out some really good memes and videos and shit. She puts in, stop telling me I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy, right? Which it is. The conspiracy means that you think that there's something unlawful happening and you're sharing it with others. And I said to her, because I have a conversation with this chick every once in a while, and she might respond. Theorizing, speculating, and deliberating indicates one's ability to fucking think. That's it. If you lose that, then you probably shouldn't have kids. Let's just say that. Sadly, the majority of this planet completely lost that innate ability. They've lost that ability to theorize, speculate, deliberate, critical thinking, cognitive thinking, analytical thinking, just a way of just trying to understand what the fuck is going on out there. If something doesn't make sense and your head tilts, like Forrest Gump, if your head tilts, then that's probably that time where you start asking questions. Right? And I thought that was important to get out for her, because we're just in that time. What else do I got here? I don't know if you can see this or hear it. I don't know if they can see it or hear it. We're going to find out. And then Gates recently, and this is at the G20, right? He brings up, this shit. I mean, this guy fucking he's a sick fuck. Right?
Yeah.
How in the fuck is this guy allowed to be around? He 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 didn't create Microsoft. He did not create it. He did not. He stole he stole the idea. They settled. Bill Bass, I think his name was, or something Bass, said, okay, just give me $1 bazillion and that's fine. And they intimidated him and it was gone. That's when he got his pie in his face. Remember the pie in his face? You ever seen that? He got custard pie in his face by 2 people.
Right. No, somebody was hiding behind the pillar. I remember he was walking up the stairs.
By the pillar to the courthouse. And
someone just smashed him in the face with a pie.
That should have just been full of feces. That would have been great. Here's a fucking pie full of shit, you piece of fuck. Right? But the thing is this guy still lives and breathes. His money keeps him around. Right? And then a lot of these tyrants, a lot of these diabolical, evil, evil is speculative, by the way. Because Democrats think that Republicans are evil, and Republicans think that Democrats are evil. Russians think that, not all Russians, just some people. I'd say just a few people think other people are evil. You know what I mean? I mean, it's all good and evil is about perspective, but at the same point, when you start getting into real good and evil, and when it really starts to make a difference, that has to do with joy and pain, right? If you put pain on somebody, physically, financially, socially, mentally, whatever, that is bad. That's evil. You see what I'm saying? That's where that line gets drawn. And then, and then you can bring great joy to people in many different ways. But this motherfucker, Bill Gates, tells G20 world leaders that death panels will soon be required. Death fucking panels. Do you know what can I tell you what a death panel is? I'm going to tell you what a death panel is. I'm going to tell you what a death panel is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this unelected piece of shit, right, Czar Bill Gates, has used his appearance at the G20 Summit in Bali, Indonesia, to raise a discussion about death panels. According to Gates, death panels will be necessary in the near future in order to end the lives of the sick and unwell people due to the very, very high medical costs. This is his words. This is his words.
Canada, they already have this.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up. So what I'm saying is so if you gave everybody an acre of land, it would cover, I think, the size of Texas and part of California on the planet right now. You give everybody an acre of land. It's big, But when you start putting people, and there's plenty of land, bro. If you drive across, have you ever driven in have you ever been to the mainland?
Oh yeah. I've been to most just West Coast though.
West Coast, okay. But you've been up and down with California, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But it's big. You drive forever. You can drive from fucking California, from San Diego to Alaska.
Yeah.
You can. That takes fucking 4 days. It takes 4 or 5 days to get to Alaska. If you want to have a good time, do it in a week. But you can do it in 4 days, right? 3 or 4 days. Comfortable.
Watch it.
Yeah, but the thing is there's plenty of space everywhere, man. There's fucking space. And the problem is the people that have the ability for us to go into space, instead of going into space and moving through space and time, right? They're using it for themselves. The World Economic Forum has absolute and total control and power over CERN, the Hadron Collider, 17-mile circle radius of fucking just this gigantic atom smasher that's finding quarks and different types of protons and electrons, smashing them together, and this is how we're going to move through space and time. And Einstein isn't perfect. He thinks you can't go past the speed of light. I think there's a way to get past the speed of light, but it's not going fast. Does that make sense? I know it doesn't, but because I said it, it's probably going to happen. Who knows? But what I'm really trying to get to is the people that have the most control, the monsters, the sick individuals, these fucking sickly creatures, have the greatest technology at the helm. They have this, it's like having a Lex Luthor, which even Lex Luthor would be fucking scared shitless of this fucker, right? These people have absolute and total control of the most powerful devices on the planet. That should not be happening. That should not be. These people should be so fucking far away from this shit. They should not have this kind of ability. These sick, disgusting creatures should not have this kind of influence, power, control over just these, nations and structures of mechanical, like Boston Dynamics. If you've seen their work, is they're all about robots and doing chores around the house, but then they've also mounted guns on these things and laser beams, right? And these are the people that are in control of these fuckers, of this fucking technology. It's wrong. We have it in the hands of the wrong people. So now you have this guy, Bill Gates, who wants to bring death panels, and death panels is to get rid of people that aren't necessary. This is so eugenics. This is absolute total eugenics thinking, like his dad, like his grandfather. They all think the fucking same. It's disgusting.
They consider us useless eaters.
What?
They consider them useless eaters.
Yeah, we're all useless eaters to them. They like I said, they already have their group of people they're going to take with them on their arcs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let me stop sharing because I can show the pictures, but it doesn't show the zoom, which is very odd. It's very odd. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm back. Let's see what else we got here. The one thing that I don't know if you saw my last video, but the one thing that I brought up the other day I thought was really important, and I'm probably going to end with that, unless you got something you want to go over.
Oh no, nothing new. I just kind of waiting. In a couple of days from now, there's going to be a documentary coming out.
Oh, nice. Which one?
It's supposedly going to shock the world. It's called Died Suddenly.
Oh yeah, that's coming out. Oh yeah, that's going to be heavy duty. I'm very well aware of that. Right. So I wanted to show this to people. I don't know if people can see it when I play it. I just wonder if they can see it when I play it. Hold on. So this is for the people out there that took the crap. They took the puka. We got to keep it, censor a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? Because I want these to stay up. I know it's stupid, but I'm kind of sick of making new channels. That's all I'm saying. It takes a lot of work to fucking start a new channel, dude. So it's right here. So you've been fooled to inject a confirmed and verified poisonous genocidal liquid into your body and your child's body that does not stop the transmission or stop the common flu. I think you get what I'm talking about. Because you've decided to watch Brought to You by Pfizer. And I'm going to bring that up in a second here. Which I should have timed this. But anyway, it's not a big deal. Wait, right here. Right here. Let me just grab it real quick. Where is it? I wonder how the USC game's going. Can you tell?
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch, sponsored by Pfizer.
Anderson Cooper 360.
Guy from Colorado,
Brought to you
wrestler.
by Pfizer.
ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Pfizer.
Heavy
Making a
hands.
difference. Brought to you by Pfizer.
CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer.
you
Early
go.
Start. Brought to you by Pfizer. Friday night on Aaron Burnett Out Front. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This Week with George Stephanopoulos is brought to you by Pfizer.
This weather report brought to you by Pfizer.
Today's countdown to the royal wedding is brought to you by Pfizer.
And now a CBS Sports Update brought to you by Pfizer.
Meet the Press Data Download, brought to you by Pfizer.
This portion of CBS This Morning, sponsored by Pfizer.
On how to find the hidden sugars in the American family diet. Sponsored by Pfizer.
No wonder the media only has good things to say about Pfizer. Right? It's pretty obvious.
Trash.
Yeah, no matter how many times I've seen that, it kind of hits home. It's the one that says the mass media or the mainstream media is controlled by them.
Big pharma. Yeah.
Big pharma. It's controlled by them, period. It's just, yeah, big pharma, military industrial complex, big hospital, John Hopkins commercials, by the way, stuff like that. Big elderly care commercials. That's part of big pharma. It's kind of in the same category. And a lot of other industries, big oil. Big oil is one, big banks. When it comes down to it, if you watch Brian on High Impact Flicks, man, that guy fucking goes after the banks. And I get it. It is, the banks are a big part of it. But I think the core part, which he knows and he understands, is there's a group of really fucking whacked out son of a bitches because they're so fucking rich, right? They're gone. They've had so many drugs and they've had so much fucking, whatever in their systems. And I would guarantee that Bill Gates has drugs that he's created, right, or had created or made that do some pretty fucking cool shit. I'm sure. Could you imagine if you had access like that? I want a drug that does this, this, and this, and makes me do that, that, and that. And then he could have it made. Imagine that. Right? Which I'm sure has fucked him up pretty bad. And the guy, if you watch the younger videos of Bill Gates, he's always rocking back and forth like this. Somebody said it was like an autism type of thing, or he had some kind of whatever. I mean, I'm not putting people down that, and I have to put the disclosure out now. I'm not putting people down that have autism problems. I'm sorry. But this guy definitely had some mental disabilities. And his family put him out in the limelight and got him all the money he needed, stole the company from him, and coerced and fucking turned this guy into a fucking mass murderer. Jim Jones, he's the fucking, there's a bunch of, so Jim Jones, do you know the story of Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I think he mentioned something about that the last time.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of these Jim Joneses out there, and they're everywhere. And people don't even realize it. They don't even realize how immensely dangerous these people are to society, to us, to you. The biggest thing now is the climate change thing, and I'm going to do a whole segment on that. I'm going to put it up first, and then we'll talk about it probably later on this week. But because I understood that, I do understand we have pollution, bad pollution. And I do understand we have what's called microfibers of plastic, which isn't good either. And I do understand that we have radiation, cesium-133, which isn't good either, that's being leaked into our oceans from nuclear plants and rivers and shit like that people don't even realize. And there's a lot of things that are toxic that are flowing, like from Dow Chemical, that seep through the soil, that are dumped and seep through the soil. And there's a lot of toxic crap everywhere that we're constantly dealing with. I mean, 100 years ago, if you had a steak, could you imagine how fresh that steak would be? Right? If you had a fucking potato with real butter, could you imagine how fucking tasty that would be? How pure and fresh it would be. Untethered, unprocessed, right? If you had a baked bread of a stone oven, nice and hot, now I'm getting fucking hungry. But you see what I'm saying? If you had food that was made the way it was supposed to be made 100+ years ago, right? Probably a little further than that. You would be fine. Everything would be, you would be fine. But ever since they brought all these processed foods, and I mean, I was eating a frozen burrito today, bro, and I looked on the back of my frozen burrito and what's inside of my frozen burrito.
Right.
Gilcolide A, B294Z, and fucking kukulak and plitzes and soybean, blah, blah, blah. And just, I mean, it was like a fucking, it looked like it was like a novel, like a giant paragraph, more than a paragraph, it was fucking so much shit, it was crazy. You know, this is, you know, if you go to Mexico, and I've been to Mexico, and you go have a burrito, and they make it fresh, and they grind the tortilla, right? And these are ground tortillas, and you eat the ground tortilla, and the way they make it, and they bring out the meat. I don't know if it's whatever, horse or dog, I don't fucking care, but it tasted good. But I eat their burritos, and they're fucking delicious, just so full of flavor. You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen anymore. Like if you go to Taco Bell, have you been to, they have Taco Ball in Hawaii, right?
Oh yeah. All the time. Yeah.
Now, if you go to Taco Bell, then you go to like a local store in California that some of these, there's a company called Ingardia and a few other companies that bring, you know, the packaged foods and stuff to the restaurants. But then there's all these other vendors that process from real California farmers. They're more organic and stuff like that. And when you go to these like little ma and pa restaurants, and that they bring out this burrito that's fucking like, you know, 12 inches long, 4 inches thick, just this big round thing full of fresh, real beans and rice, and you know, that's really good, and real, you know, carne asada pork that's just good, and the everything that's in it is just that, and then eat that, and then go to fucking Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's gross. It's gross. It's like eating paper. It's like eating fucking paper with something inside of it. That's what it's tasting like. But anyway, there's a lot of things we need to do and change in the globe, in the country, our legislators.
It's been a long road ahead of us.
Yeah, it's a lot of things are getting out of hand, and we're letting it. And that's the sad part about all this, is that we're letting it get out of hand, and we need to start getting in control of it. That's why I created F the W. Oh, did you see my bumper sticker? You want to get? I'll send you one of these bumper stickers if you want. Here, watch this. Watch this bumper sticker, dude. You're gonna love this. This is on my truck. Where? Damn it. Where is it? Okay, here. Can you see it?
No. I see you.
Oh wait, I gotta put share back on. Sorry. Zoom is kind of interesting to operate. There's a lot of stuff. Plus, I have an OBS system, and you know what? I should just show you what the OBS system looks like. It's kind of funny.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, that's cool, right? See that sticker? That's my sticker. It says F the WEF. So the F is a larger font. The is smaller, but it's not bold, and the WEF isn't bigger than the F. I thought that's important. So the and the org are the same size. The F is the largest, and the WF is just a little bit bigger, but a little bit bigger than the. But there's a reason for that, so it accentuates properly. Anyway, that's a marketing tool. So anyway, FWF is on the back of my truck. Anybody wants that, let me know. I'll send one out to them. I should charge some money or something. I'll get one for you for free. But anybody else, I'm going to start charging. That's what I'm going to say. I'll send you out. If you want, let me know and I'll send you out one. Or you can just make this. I can send you the
template.
The template. If I just send the template to everybody, they can make the old one. Right?
Right.
They can make their own. And you see how that is so easy to make? That cost me one by itself with shipping was $8.50 or something like that. Right? But if I bought bulk, I could get like 1,000 of them for like $80 or something like that, right? Which I want to do. But anyway, if you could figure that out, it's just, I think whatever the font was, you can make your own. It's so easy. You know what I'll do is I'll send you the. Let me see here. I'll send you the place where I did it. It's called.
Is it Vista Print?
No, it's called Build a Sign. Build a Sign. I'll put it in the. However you want to make it. Personalize it yourself. Make it your own. I think that's cool. That's a good idea. I don't ask people to buy my shit. I'm not here to make billions of dollars off of people. I'm here to just, tell them what the fuck is going on. That's basically what I'm doing. I'll put it in the Facebook. I'll put it in the Facebook for you, bro. In the Facebook. And then if you want, you can make your own, make it as big as you want or whatever. What kind of car you got?
Oh, an old car, like an old 99. Oh wait, it's 99 Camry.
That's nice. It works, right? Does
2000?
That's fine.
I think it's a 99.
As long as it works, that's all that matters, bro. A lot of people, like my XX, not my XXX, but my XX, still to this day has to get a car every 2 years. A new car. Every 2 years. Every two fucking, yeah. It's just like, why? Why?
Wow.
Yeah, it's just crazy. The payments are like
that's expensive. That's
expensive. Payments are like $600 a month. Fucking ridiculous. It's fucking.
She lease it, or she buy it?
She leases it, but it's still expensive. It's her
yeah.
Her lease is, because she's getting like the top model Hyundai, whatever they got fucking out there.
And you have allotted miles. You cannot exceed a certain amount of miles.
12,000. Right. It's usually 12,000. Yeah, at least I had a Prius. I leased a Prius back in the day. I've had a few new trucks and shit. And after this, my truck now, I'm just fine. I don't have payments. I own my truck outright. I have the fucking title. I just put a couple tires on it, brand new. I'm putting some more tires on it soon. Oh, Mitch is here. Oh, it looks like I'm staying for a little bit. Snork, what's up, bro?
I just noticed you were on. I'm not used to you being here on Saturdays.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm here on Saturdays.
Your chat is full of people advertising for porn sites.
Could you do? Are you an admin? Who's an admin? Mitch, are you an admin, Snork?
I might be. No, I'm not.
Okay, let me find out what that is, because I don't know what channel that is. I tried to find out last time, but I don't know which one it is. Let me see if you're in there. Hang on. Because I don't know what channel that is. I tried to find... is this the same channel? I'm just going to say hi. Let me know if that's the right channel.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make you admin right now then. So you just report those people, because I can't see it for some weird reason. It's really strange.
It doesn't show up in top chat.
Yeah. I wonder if that's fucking strange.
That must have happened before I got there because it's not in my history. It's not.
Oh, really? This must be a different channel.
Well, that's
Go ahead.
That's right when I popped in.
Oh, but you saw it though.
Well, it's on your site. It's in your log on your screen, but it's not on the chat, live chat.
Yeah, it's in my OBS, but my OBS is picking up two channels. I have two YouTube channels. So it's either this YouTube channel with a particular email or another YouTube channel with a particular email. So
I'm guessing it's the other one.
Do you know what all my YouTubes are by any chance?
I don't know.
It's hard to keep up.
But where I said that his Camry will last another 20 years too, showed up on your log.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about my car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I have like 300,000 miles on it already.
Yeah, it's like the Camry was built for Hawaii.
The Snork's car is awesome. He's got a fucking spaceship. It's a Volt, Chevy Volt, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a Volt.
It's nice. Looks like a spaceship. I mean,
I hit some kind of creature and I have to take it in for repairs.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it was nice. The best I ever got was 2,600 miles for 4 gallons of gas.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
26 miles for 4 gallons of gas?
No, 2,600 miles.
Oh, 2,600. Oh, shit. Okay, sorry. That's a lot better. Holy bejesus. Holy bejesus. I was going through, so I have a question for you in regards to carbon, right? And I think I sent you some information about carbon. But the thing I have that look, I've seen smog. I've lived in Los Angeles, and I've seen smog.
That's horrible over there.
All across fucking LA. I mean, you can't breathe in it. That's carbon monoxide, right?
No, a large part of it might be carbon monoxide, but so there's multiple things coming out of the back ends of cars.
Okay.
So carbon monoxide is not the highest thing that comes out, but so little of it is necessary to be harmful.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly it's carbon dioxide coming out, and actually what's a large thing coming out of the car is nitrogen. So that the engine actually works on nitrogen, but the nitrogen's inert. The gas burns, heats up the nitrogen, and the whole thing goes shooting out the back. But so there's carbon in it, but the diesel, so many diesel things operating in Los Angeles. Just the number of trucks moving through Los Angeles was incredible. And so that was a big issue. Generators, everything. And the mines or the oil wells themselves were spewing out a lot of gases that we couldn't even see. But what really happened was when we stopped using so much coal to fuel the Los Angeles area. I believe there was something like 13 nuclear reactors surrounding. Is that correct?
In Los Angeles?
Yeah.
San Onofre is no longer working. I don't know. I can look it up. How many?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but in the past, a lot of that was taken out when they quit burning coal. Still, there's other ways that they moved a lot of that to natural gas. Mm-hmm. So it still puts out some stuff, but you don't see it. You don't have that grit in the air.
Right.
And a lot of things that remained, they had to start putting what they call scrubbers on them, and they take a lot of that particulate matter out. Right. So it's still putting the carbon dioxide out. And the diesel engines are very good at putting out more carbon dioxide than monoxide. So that's considered not as dangerous. But reality, I can remember pictures of the Los Angeles area where it constantly looked like it was under a heavy fog, where you could not see buildings taking it from the hills. And now it looks nice and clear. The last time I went there, I did not see any smog at all.
People working from home is not a bad idea. Seriously, it's not. But it's also boring, and it's not very hands-on. People need that interaction. I think that's necessary. Like going to the market. It's always been that way, right? And
not only that, I think less than 1 out of 10 people can actually work at home.
Yeah, I did it. I'm doing it. It's crazy. It's pretty nutty.
But you have a job where you can use your voice. If you have a job where you need to do something, and realistically, the United States needs a majority of our jobs where we're doing something, not where we're using our voices.
Yeah.
So our economy is based on how many people create something. I know we have people that create entertainment and whatever, but we actually need items.
Tangible things.
Right. I remember some quote from long ago, and I forgot who, is that we cannot have an economy where we all give each other haircuts. And that's true, is we need to be making things. The most foolish thing that we ever did was offshore our manufacturing.
Yeah,
so
NAFTA.
The idea,
NAFTA
that cleaned up a lot of things. But realistically, we should have cleaned up our operation. And I do believe that trade is the best way to not go to war. So if we have a good trade relation between countries, we're not going to go to war with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I am not
That's a
anti-trade. But I really think it should be, we should import 25% of what we need. We should make 50% of what we need, and we should export 25%. The rest of it goes to the government. And right now, so much goes to the government that we don't even know. We say we have enough. We don't have enough money for health care. I believe that Congress just passed a bill to provide health care for everybody in Ukraine. That's part of the many billions of dollars, just to provide them all with health care.
Oh, really? So they have health care now, but we don't?
They're going to have universal health care paid for by us. That's the second country.
That's like taking sand and not just sprinkling it in somebody's eyes, like cramming it with salt added to it. Oh my God.
So that's at least the second country that we provide them the money so that they can provide health care to all of us.
I think another one is it Israel, the first one?
Yeah, I can't say that though. I'm in Iowa.
Okay. There's 104 operating nuclear reactors. There were 93 operating. No, that was in 2012. 93 operating reactors climate generation in 2019. So in 2020, it's gone down. Operates combined high capacity utilities. Where is it?
Yeah, I know that we shut down 2 in Iowa.
It's like 100. Yeah. But the problem I have with nuclear power is the storage of the cesium 133, and the junk that comes out of it. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but one of my videos a long time ago when I first started my channel, I went down to San Clemente. There was a protest. A lot of surfers, a lot of, I guess there were Greenpeace people there and shit like that. We were protesting that they were They had already pretty much done it. We were still protesting. They had these 500-gallon containers, or 5,000, I don't know, they were just giant containers that would take the waste and store it 100 yards from the beach, buried in the ground. And the problem is the containers that were used in different countries were like 5 inches thick of some alloy or metal, and ours were only 2 inches thick. It was, or something, and it was just really terrible. So as far as these stockpiles of nuclear waste, there's other ways, and I know you've researched this because I have, is our atmosphere has, you ever, like, slid your socks across the carpet and then touch the door and there's an electric charge? Static electricity, right? Well, the static electricity that comes from the ground, not to the ground, can be harnessed, and Tesla found a way to do it. Tesla found a way, and I think that the pyramids also found a way to do it, but somebody had brought up many of those theories and investigations on that a while back, and they're still talking about that to this day. But I do believe that the Earth itself has a way of generating electricity, because you'd have to be completely idiotic and naive to say that thunder is the sound, lightning itself could not at all be recreated in a smaller scale, or that it couldn't be harnessed itself if necessary. Because one lightning bolt, how many kilowatts are... Go ahead.
You're on a good track, but you don't need the bolt. There are systems where people are experimenting now with kites that go up. So as the kite's going up, it actually bleeds an area. So it doesn't go into a catastrophic failure causing a thunderstrike. So it's actually pulling it out, and it actually reduces the odds of a actual strike. There's other people that are actually firing a bolt really fast into a cloud to try to start one.
Right.
And that's part of the people trying to do weather control. But it's there is a natural boundary of being able to create power from upper atmosphere versus lower.
Right.
And it probably isn't not minimal, but there are other ways that probably are better, unless you're in the mountain ranges and stuff. So there's areas that are really flat that might not be as conducive to it. And so not every one area is going to be it. Also, the cesium isotope 133 is stable. It's a different one. Sounds just like that.
Oh,
so,
sorry. That's close.
There are 40 different isotopes of cesium. So
which one is the one that melts your face?
Well, the ones that
That's the one I'm worried about.
Yeah, the ones that are mostly worried about are in the first few days after a reaction. I think it's 131, and I believe that's also the one they put in fracking fluid. So, well, the way they track how the fracking is going is how much radiation is coming back up. So, well, it's one of the methods, probably not the only method, but there are many. It's not just one type of radioactive material in the waste. It's multiple, and radioactive decay series are not always easy to contain, because it's like they're not always even what we call the same phase, like between gas, liquid, and a solid. Sometimes, like radon can switch from being, as it's going through its isotope decay, it can be a solid It can be a gas. It can go back to being a solid or a gas again. And so it's easy to hold in a solid. A gas can go out through the cracks. So we don't always know what everything coming out is. And the other method we use is called vitrification. In vitrification, you really grind up the radioactive stuff as small as you can, and you put it in glass. But what happens to glass? Glass always shakes and shatters over its lifetime. So whatever vitrified is going to come back out occasionally.
Right.
And unless you live in a place that has earthquakes, shake stuff up.
Have you ever heard of the Tesla? Remember earlier I was talking about the Tesla Tower.
Which kind? The kind that just makes sparks?
No. The Tesla Tower itself anyway, there's a story about it that's been...
He experimented extensively using the equivalent of something that would be more like the means of transporting power via microwave.
Yeah, it was.
But they just weren't microwaves back then. It was just high frequencies, and he was really adamant about using that method. That it could be a power supply that you could use anywhere in an area, and it has its misgivings. It has its usages. With the problems that people have with 5G right now, this would be probably fought even harder than 5G.
Like headaches? Like headaches?
No, we probably wouldn't even notice it. Where you'd have the problem with power is maybe a piece of metal might be the right size and shape to pick up a multiple frequency of what's happening. So in general, I don't like distributed power that much, and I'm more a fan of other means, solar, whatever we can get. We didn't have adequate means of storing solar power even 30 years ago, so people didn't really think of storing. They were like, what can we do to make power? And we had other purposes for nuclear. Even Einstein was against nuclear power, saying it was a horrible way to boil water. But one of the things is we had things that come out of nuclear power other than the electricity. We had a lot of the isotopes had medicine capabilities and weapon capabilities. And
everything has weapon capabilities, right? I mean,
yeah.
What doesn't have weapon capabilities?
And occasionally we get one really rare type of plutonium that was a really good energy source.
Ooh.
And it was such a good energy source that we powered the Viking spacecraft and some of the others with it. The rovers that went to the moon that worked the best, they were all powered with that. And a couple of different space missions had to be canceled because Dick Cheney decided that he would use that material that was left, hardly any was left, for making his new heart device. And since he was vice president, he said it was important enough to have that for him.
So what do you think about here's the thing about that I was talking about earlier in regards to, I just don't believe that technology as powerful as CERN and a lot of other things that are just extremely, powerful are in the right hands. I don't think, the World Economic Forum basically controls CERN. They're their main, one of their main scientists or engineers, something like that, is always doing reports with the World Economic Forum. And I don't fucking trust those people. They're all a bunch of sick fucks. I mean, if you've watched this and me talk about it a lot of times, I just don't think our technology is in the hands of the people that really are doing what's necessary for us with it. I think what they're going to do is do whatever they can for themselves first, and then maybe include us with it.
I have some good news and some bad news for you.
Allow it.
First of all, CERN isn't the only one, but there might be like 1,000 of them out there.
1,000 Hadron Colliders?
The thing of the Hadron Collider, these actually happen in nature. What the Hadron Collider does, it's done in a format where it's controlled of what the beam is, and they can take a look and see how the particles flow out of it so it's really a measurement device. And again, like I said, these are not the only times that things happen. Occasionally, there will be instances where different particles come from space, and we don't talk about that as much. But what it really is this has been going on. The events that happen in the Hadron Collider happen in the real world, but it's just that the Hadron Collider allows us to see and control what's happening. If you pop up Hadron Colliders, you'll see that one is just the most expensive one to look at and control where it's happening.
Yeah.
What bothers me is the fact that we don't talk about how and why and what we're doing to prevent extra nuclear material to get out there. Now I lost my thought. But
no, I get what you're saying. We have to be careful with this technology, and I just don't think it's in the right hands. We get some sick fuckers charging this stuff. That's my point.
I've had projects before where I've worked, and we actually stopped it thinking that, sure, the device works, but if we were to put that nuclear-powered source out there, that we couldn't control somebody from using it. If somebody stole it, what uses would they have for it? So you see what's going on in there is they're making that beam go around.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not so much that if that Hadron Collider wasn't there, it's not that no other hadron collisions or anything would happen. It's that one is so controlled that it allows us to see what happened. So go back and say, instead of saying CERN particle accelerator, leave out CERN and just say particle accelerator in your search.
Yeah, somebody sent me a picture that something at CERN happened the other day, and okay.
Like I said,
what did you say, particle?
Yeah, just say particle
accelerator.
Particle accelerator near me.
I like that. I'm going to do that. There's a guy in a butcher shop. Actually, scientists finally found a way to open a portal in another dimension. Okay.
I usually blow those off anyway.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. You can only speculate, right? It's nothing wrong with asking the question.
All I'm saying is there are a lot of accelerators. It's just that the CERN is really good.
I'm going to Google that then. Particle accelerator near me. Hang on. I'm not kidding. Let me just put it in there. Control F. There we go. Particle accelerator near me. Around the world. Oh, here they are. September. It might give me a map. Oh shit! There's a bunch of them, bro.
So
holy crap!
How long has this
There's
been
a
going
bunch
on?
of these fucking things.
Yeah. So like I said, all these colliders are instrumentation that allows us to study one. Yeah. We probably just made a whole bunch of people just go nuts with things to look at for the next 6 weeks.
Oh my God, North America! There's a bunch of them in North America. Are these full scale or just different scales?
Oh, let me. Stop. Go back down a little bit.
Okay.
Go back down a little bit more.
Okay.
Get the F's. Fermilab.
F Fermilab.
There. Okay. Right there, we see the Fermi National. It should zoom out and show you a ring.
I've seen this.
In that ring is the United States' largest herd of buffalo.
Okay.
It'll
zoom out in a second. I've seen this.
Yeah, but this is animation. I wanted to see the one that had the actual pictures of them.
Right.
So if something went wrong, the bison would die.
Right. So here it is, hand.
So that area around there is full of bison.
Oh, lovely. I got to get rid of this little picture here. Hang on.
Yeah.
What the hell is this thing on the left bottom here? God, Jesus. So this thing is gigantic. That's huge, right? But it's not. I don't think it's showing the big one. Let me just check.
Yeah. Just Google Fermilab bison.
Fermi.
Fermilab.
I got it. It's right in front of me. Fermilab bison.
Yeah, Fermilab bison.
BISON.
People don't believe me when I say this. Go ahead.
Okay. And there's bison out there.
Canaries in the coal mine.
That's what they're for.
Yeah.
That's what they're for. That's trippy. So if something happens and they check them, I give. Go ahead.
History of the Midwestern prairie. Yeah, like they're there for history.
Yeah, they're canaries. Just if they start disappearing, then there's definitely something wrong, right? Or one is like cut in half, right? It's sticking out of like thin air, still alive, because part of it is in another dimension. You fucking know, right?
Yeah,
this place is big.
It's huge. So, but a lot of people through different science fiction shows, gotten different ideas about what's going on, don't understand normal things that are happening in the world around them.
Oh, here it is, right here.
Right, it's huge. It's as big as O'Hare Airport.
That's big.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of things going around, and I almost feel like people have tried to make it into a big deal to keep us looking away from things that we should be paying attention to.
I'm just saying it's in the hands of the wrong people. I don't want it to be in the hands of fucking Klaus Schwab. That's my point. I'd like you to be in charge of that shit, Snort, because I trust you. I don't think you have a nefarious reason to create something. These people associated with the World Economic Forum, if you've seen all the stuff I've been talking about for the past 2.5, 3 years, they're like Dr. Evil on fucking steroids. They're pretty fucked up. And these are the people in charge of these major pieces of technology that are so powerful, and that's my concern.
I used to know the former head of Fermilab.
Oh,
he was actually a really nice guy.
Yeah, nice, but we don't really know what. Okay. All I'm saying, okay, and I think this is important. There's a lot of nice guys out there, and he's getting his orders and doing what he's supposed to do, and he kind of says what's going on and has this and that, but he has to answer to who cuts his check.
Yeah.
Right? And the people that cut his check are the people that I'm worried about.
Yeah, and he was like one of the pioneers of all of the Hadron stuff.
What's his name?
And I forgot.
That's all right.
I forgot.
It's probably in here somewhere.
Yeah, just look up. He became a U.S. House of Representatives. Fermilab congressman.
Yeah, I'm going to put Fermi Lab history. So it started in 1963. Yeah, I've seen that building. I know a little bit about this place, but
It's a big building.
oh yeah, looks like it's about 20 stories high.
It was Bob Foster. Bill Foster. That's right. Bill Foster.
Bill Foster.
Bill Foster.
Okay.
And yeah, he actually discovered one of the corks.
One of the smallest. I don't know if you call it a particle. What is a quark? Is it smaller than a? Is it smaller than a proton, a neutron, or an electron?
We should get one of our not former friends, but one of our friends we used to talk with on, because that's actually what his doctorate's on.
Right.
And I like to call it a wavicle, somewhere between a wave and a particle.
A wavicle.
A wavicle.
Okay.
He would have to tell you the proper term.
I'd use that.
Yeah, so that's how I just break it down to my students, because that's about as much as we need to know. So it there are other things that I find far worse. So in the case of this, we have a little bit of radiation issues.
A little bit or a lot? I mean, the biggest concern that people have is, honestly, is a black hole appearing out of fucking nowhere.
Right. That's what a lot of things are talking about. But in reality, it's less of a danger than burning a tentacle.
Yeah, but we don't know. Do you really know what's going to happen? Can you predict? This is the thing that I'm concerned about. Is, because we've been playing God for a long time now, is once you start getting to subatomic particles. I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, no, sorry. I was reading something.
Okay, if you got something you want to share, please send it through. Do whatever you want to do. But anyway, so my biggest concern, like I said, is the people that are in charge are a bunch of sick, narcissistic, tyrannical, authoritarian psychopaths, right, that are running a lot of this shit. But it's the safety snort. And
I do believe that it's always a safety issue. One of the things that we used to do, and we don't, at least we don't know about it being done, is when we used to knock off nuclear weapons. So we're limited in what we can say, but
knock off. What do you mean? It's okay. You just don't talk about the thing in the arm and all that. That's the only time I get taken down.
When one particle in a nuclear act goes off and hits another particle, those particles smash and fly out. All kinds of different directions. That actually is like a hadron collider. When it starts going, all kinds of things are happening, and particles break up. I mean, that's part of what we call them. It's not the same as when it comes out. But when we have a nuclear reaction, it's not just one. So in the hadron collider, we're trying to make one hit go out, one strike. And when we launch stuff like our large fusion bombs, we would have all kinds of things popping off and things moving around. And that was more of a danger than anything. Having some of the things that we do in just radiating stuff is a problem. The fact that we have Chernobyl still melting down and Fukushima, 3 reactors, still melting down?
Well, yeah, one of them is still sinking into the ground.
I'm not sure it's just one.
Oh,
but
really?
I'd have to go back and look. I'd need to find an expert on that.
Yeah.
But the fact that those are uncontrolled situations with high energy particles moving around, to me, is more of an issue.
Right.
And that we're not controlling that. And that we haven't done anything to really control a lot of issues that we have chemical wise across the country. There was many chemicals that we used from the 40s, 50s that we thought were helping society that were really detrimental. For instance, asbestos. If you have a fiber of asbestos in a school, you have to shut it down and totally redo the school.
Mm-hmm.
But how many cars have asbestos plates or used to in their brake system? So we never talk about cleaning up all of the sides of the roads.
Yeah. That particle is probably terrible. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah. So we're not using as much as we used to. But we have so much that we need to be doing to clean up the messes we made.
You know...
Nuclear comedy show?
No, this not. This is Dana Dumford. And I think I sent you his information before. But he is...
I've seen his before.
Yeah, he's really serious. You know, the thing about him is he's been on this ever since Fukushima started. Ever since the earthquake, pretty much. He's been adamant about trying to tell people that, you know, this place, and he talks about Chernobyl and a few other, in general, nuclear, which is just a really dangerous and serious, it's just nuclear, from my perspective and what I've seen and noticed, can really do some serious damage to people if the particular part of that, the cesium or whatever, that 133, or you said it's a different isotope or something, that could be very bad for you. I think that it's just like two. Let me give you an example. So, customer service, I'm working with people that want 2,000 megabytes per second for their Wi-Fi, right? 2,000 megabytes per second. And I'm like, well, that's a lot. That's a lot of packets of data coming through in a second. Whereas most devices on the planet, to operate and work optimally up and download speeds, only need an average of about 8. A light bulb, to operate a light bulb from one side of the planet to the other side of the planet, when you're gone on vacation to Hawaii or the Bahamas, and you want to use an app to turn your light bulb on and off, to tell robbers that you're there or not, takes 3 megabytes per second. An HD TV may use anywhere from 12 to 15. A console, PlayStation, or Xbox could use up to 28, maybe 30. And it's through a VPN, so it's regulated anyway. But my point is, there's problems all the time with these devices. I don't think we're ready for the technology. I think they brought a lot of these technologies out to the market too soon. That's what I think. I think we didn't know what we were dealing with after we found out that it does give a fish a third eyeball, and it does cause bad problems. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think 5G is good. I think 2,000 megabytes per second is good, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's not keeping up with the technology, because there's a lot of issues that happen trying to harness 2,000 megabytes per second in a device. It doesn't really work that well. I just don't. So that's my point. Is I think we're trying to move too fast in such a short amount of time. The Industrial Revolution that just came out, at the end of the 1900s, right? And then all of a sudden, cars and technology, and most cars, they tried to bring out electric cars, but anyway, there's a story on that. But the point I'm making is we just need to slow down, and that's why I'm saying I don't think we have the right people in charge of these things, because for one, they're fucking greedy as fuck. I mean, just sickly greedy. They're corrupt, and they're all a bunch of just crazy fucks. And they're in charge of this technology and all this, whereas the people need to have more of a say-so in what these people are going to do with this powerful technology. Like David Dunford right here is doing a wonderful job. I don't know if you can hear him.
17th of November, 2022.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah, but he goes, but let me just say, and he goes through what's happening with him, and it's just really good. And there's a lot of people out there like you and like me and Reed Kodama here, who's with us from Hawaii, by the way. That give a shit, that really care. But we got to be careful who's in charge of this stuff. I mean, at a certain point, I don't know if you care who's cutting your check, right? As long as you get paid. Am I right? The thing is,
well, there's a lot that happens above you. So you might write a report and say, I don't want to see this. But your boss might correct that on a report and say, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. You did a study also, or something like that, a peer review.
After COVID first came out, people were looking for ways to get back into buildings again. I was approached by one team that wanted to look at using radiation to purify the air that might have COVID. And my biggest concern wasn't that the radioactive waste can be controlled. My concern was that somebody would steal the radioactive waste for other purposes. And when I look at the World Nuclear Association things about nuclear waste, I don't agree with what they actually say. Plutonium is the most dangerous material in the world. No, it isn't. There are others that are worse. In the nuclear chain. So they all have different properties. And I almost feel like things are pushed too fast. Well, I hear that people are saying, let's go fusion. Fusion's nice and safe. Well, the thing with fusion is if we try combining parts that have extra neutrons, those extra neutrons are not contained in a magnetic field. So we are going to be spraying the area around there with neutrons. And I would like to hear from a nuclear engineer exactly a more explanation of how they're going to contain the waste in there. And I feel that too often one person says something, another person hears it, and starts saying, well, the new fusion's safe. We should just all go to fusion. And my thought is, like you said, we should slow down and see from other points of view, what could the dangers be? Realistically,
give it time.
What are the dangers? Are there things that we haven't thought of? Everybody in the room should be able to use from a different point of view, from a different spectrum of knowledge that they have in different fields. Hey, is this going to make everybody float in the room? Is this going to do? We seem to be
disappear, dissolve, melt. Other things.
But we have a thing
lifting
where
drink.
Once we start saying, "Hey, Bill Gates' new reactors, we can put one in every town. They're going to be safe."
Oh no!
And when I hear somebody say this, I'm going to put a nuclear reactor. It's going to be built like a submarines, and we're going to put one in every town. I'm thinking, okay, you want to put a reactor that somebody can back up with a truck and take away? You're going to tell me that so many actions. It's not just safety of the material; it's safety of the ideas of other people. Right. Even if the person that is wanting to do it is decent, somebody else might have bad ideas. Somebody might be mistrained. Somebody could have a stroke while they're working a nuclear reactor and mess it up.
Yeah.
What are they doing? And if we're going to be using these things because we say it has to be used, then perhaps we should say maybe this should not be a for-profit industry.
Yeah, well, it's they're not going to do it unless it makes money, Snork.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, if there's something, okay, you ever seen the Tony Stark's little reactor that he has? You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's just absolute fantasia, fantasy, Marvel comic stuff, but let's just say that's the scenario, though, because somebody would want to use it in a nefarious, corruptive manner, and I already believe that that's in place right now with these colliders and these particle accelerators. I think it's already in place with nuclear. I think which is obvious because, the atom bomb and nuclear bombs, kind of similar, I guess. But the thing is it's always been turned into something that could harm us and kill us and destroy us, and that's where we need to say, you know what, maybe we just don't need this right now. Maybe we just, I'm just.
Well, also, most people don't know where their most nuclear exposure is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the nuclear reactors. So I'm not saying I want to see nuclear reactors everywhere.
Right.
What I'm saying is, for instance, like my wife, the largest possible thing that she could have died from was exposure to beta radiation from carbon-14.
Oh, geez.
So what's carbon-14? It is in the atmosphere, but they use it in concentrated forms to tag things for architectural, or not architecture, plant experiments. So they can measure, hey, this is from this is not. But it gives off beta radiation. And beta radiation is one of the known types of causes of the type of cancer my wife has.
Oh, wow. Isn't that that's the Hulk didn't have a problem with it for some weird reason, but everybody else does. Hey, I'm going to play this, and the reason why I want to play this is because I'm going to take a quick break, but I'm going to play it fast. So give me a second. It should be pretty quick. But I'm going to come back in about 3 or 4 minutes. But it's Tesla, Limitless Energy, and the Pyramid of Egypt. Okay, I love this format of the way the After School, SKOOL, has been doing these videos for a long time. I just think they're brilliant. But give me about 3 to 4 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay? Give me a second, but you guys are going to enjoy this. This is very well done. Hopefully you can. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Not hearing it.
The Egyptian pyramids are without a doubt the most mysterious structures on planet Earth.
Yeah.
We do not know when they were.
Let's try. See, that is the problem when I play videos. Do you want to play it? Do you mind? Do you mind?
Let's see if I'm gonna grab the link. No, I can't.
You can't grab the link?
I was trying to grab it from the image. I'm just being stupid. That's all.
That's funny, dude. All right, let me send it in the, and just speed it up and listen to it because I think it's very well done. It's just the process in which it's done is just brilliant. But anyway, so
I'm pulling up the chat.
Yeah,
there we go.
I
got chat from.
I don't know why my chat isn't showing up all of a sudden. What the hell's going on?
No, I lost it too. Use the Zoom chat.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the Zoom chat, but for some reason, oh, there it is. Okay, come on, Zoom chat. There we go. All right.
There it is.
Yeah, go ahead and play that. Speed it. It's really good. Share it, please, and I'll have everybody else look at it. But I think it's just very.
I gotta shut some stuff off here.
Oh, sorry. Take your time. I'll be right back. I gotta get some water. I'm grabbing an apple. I'll be right back. Okay. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Thanks.
So now I'll go back and share the screen.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going slow.
Take your time. There's no hurry. Nobody's in a rush.
And skip the ad.
There you go.
Start it up. Did audio play?
Yeah, make sure the audio is up all the way.
If you don't have audio, then it's not playing. Let me start again.
Yeah, turn up the audio first.
No, I think I needed to stop the share.
Oh.
And I need to reshare it. Okay.
All right.
Share needs to have share sound collected.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Now we should open it.
And on the YouTube, there's a little. There you go.
Without a doubt, the most mysterious
you got it.
structure
Perfect.
on planet Earth. We do not know when they were built, how they were built, who built them, and most importantly, why they were built. The Great Pyramid weighs nearly 6 million tons and consists of 2.3 million stones that are cut and fit together with laser precision. Many of these massive stones, which weigh as much as 80 tons, had to be transported from vast distances of more than 500 miles away. For thousands of years, it stood as the tallest unnatural structure in the world. Certainly, there must have been a good reason to go to all this trouble to construct such a wondrous monument, and we now know that it certainly was not a tomb. Nikola Tesla, who is perhaps the greatest inventor of all time, had a particular infatuation with the pyramids. He believed they served a higher purpose, and throughout his career he attempted to unravel their mystery. His idea has been dismissed and forgotten over the last century, but considering that Tesla is directly responsible for 80% of the technology we use today, perhaps we should view his theories with a more open mind. Today's episode is a brilliant showcase from the original Gaia series, Ancient Civilizations. We chose this episode because it opens the gate to new possibilities and new perspectives surrounding the pyramids. We ask you to suspend your disbelief and take a journey down the rabbit hole through this insightful presentation.
In 1905, physics genius Nikola Tesla submitted his U.S. patent 787412, which was titled The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium. It included designs for a series of worldwide generators. Tesla realized that the ionosphere was sparkling with electrical energy which could easily be tapped. Planet Earth, according to Tesla, was a gigantic electrical generator spinning around two magnetic poles from which limitless energy can be harnessed using the right medium or shape. His device was later referred to as Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid, based on his design looking like a triangle shape.
Tesla tapping into the actual shape of the pyramid, I believe, was something that just came roundabout through his investigation into the location of the pyramids. Because what appears to have happened is that he realized that it wasn't the actual shape of the pyramid so much, although pyramids exhibit fractal energy much more efficiently than other types of designs. But what he discovered was it was the location of the pyramids that created the power. And when he built his facility here in Colorado Springs, and then on the East Coast, he did so according to the laws of where the pyramids at Giza were constructed, and it had to do with the elliptical orbit of the Earth and those sites' relationship to the actual equator. That there was a natural construction somehow taking place between those very specific sites and the overall energy field of the Earth. And because of that, he believed he could transmit power wirelessly.
Tesla's discovery and device disappeared after his mysterious death in 1943. But what he was trying to tap into might have just scratched the surface of understanding the power of something much more ancient.
According to Nikola Tesla, 369 is the key to the universe. Tesla became so obsessed with this 369 that he would drive around a building 3 times before going inside of it. He cleaned his place with 18 napkins, lived in hotel rooms only with the number divisible by 3, He made calculations about things in their immediate environment just to make sure the result was conceivable by 3. And he based his choices on the results. He did everything in sets of 3. What is Nikola Tesla trying to make us understand? We must understand that we did not create mathematics. We discovered them. It is the universal language and law. No matter where in the universe you are, 1 plus 2 will always equal 3. Everything in the universe obeys this law. These forms are in nature, but the ancients emulated these forms in construction.
If Nikola Tesla's obsession was with these numbers, and his goal was to define his location and time and space, could it be possible that ancient humans created monuments like the Great Pyramids to remind us of these truths?
What this does is to prove once again how powerful that symbol.
In Sumerian tradition and in the surviving texts, there is a very strong and intriguing reference.
Oops. I think I just actually messed it up. Oh, let's see here. No, real good.
To what are called the 7 antediluvian sages, the 7 sages who came before the flood. And their leader is...
I thought you were going to make it faster, but that's okay.
Called Oannes.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. So what that is, and I'll send it, you have it, take a look at it sometime.
He's wearing a sort of fish.
There's a...
There you go.
There's a... the hypothesis is that it's available. It's doable. It's capable.
I'm trying to stop the share.
Huh?
I'm trying to stop the share.
Oh, you did? Did you? I think
Oh,
you did.
okay.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know how it stopped. But anyway, the Graham Hancock's has it was released just a few days ago on Netflix. And I'm not sure if this is part of it there. I think that was almost where I was up to. But the Graham Hancock's one was very good. So far, about everything that he's proposed in there seems quite reasonable. When one of the first things Graham Hancock does, he really got into, like, the Pyramid of Giza was not the big one. Big one looks like it was in Mexico. I can't remember if it was, it's not Chalupa, maybe it was Chapula.
Mm-hmm.
But he talked about one in Indonesia that I did not know about until I started watching that show. He's not talking to people that are from other fields. He's talking to actual researchers with ground penetrating radar, with experience in dive recovery, mapping, all the things. It is a very well put together series, and I really recommend that one. I can't remember what it's called, so my share is off. Let's see if I can pull that up. And
is it fusion, or what is it?
No, his is all about the possibility that there were intelligent humans with good technology in order to build these things, these pyramids, what they had in relations to each other, and I think he does a really good job of presenting his case, because when he goes for the facts, he's like, this is the building, this is how it's put together, this expert's telling me where this rock came from. Right. And it's not just somebody that learned from the internet, it's somebody with a degree a major archaeological professor, a group of professors, all going over the data for him, and the information is just incredible. So I've got to pull up my other thing and see. It's on Netflix, and it's called Ancient Apocalypse, and it is it has 8 32 minute episodes, and I'm on the fourth one. Every single one of them I think has been fantastic. So many people that come up with theories have questionable methods that they use to gain information. At this point in time, he's done an excellent job. Now, if anything is incorrect, the important thing is, for a scientist, you bring up questions. You don't throw out stuff right away. You start to say, okay, maybe that doesn't look right, but you look to why it doesn't look right. But you don't completely throw away every piece of information. For instance, the guy who discovered plate tectonics, a geologist that discovered plate tectonics, he was shot down like he was an idiot. It took 20 years for plate tectonic theory to actually become. Now, nobody does anything in geology without plate tectonic theory. So, again, if you don't ask the questions, no science is possible. So this Graham Hancock is out there asking the right questions, but realistically, the places he's going to, absolutely fantastic. So he goes out to a place that has basaltic columns that really intricate pyramids were made from in Indonesia. And originally, everybody thought that they were looking at debris from a basaltic eruption that happened around a volcano. And then they realized that the basaltic material wasn't from there. Nobody happened to take a look at that. Nobody happened to take a look at that. All the basaltic material that had been brought there was in really organized fashion of how it was put together, except for where humans came in and moved it and broke it away. But then they started realizing that there was walls and walls of this material forming the sides of what's called a step pyramid.
Okay.
So you have the pyramid where it goes up like pyramids of Giza.